Coach Batts with Ground Zero Magazine and Practitioners Research and Scholarship Institute, Prosse.org. We're here with the legendary Brother Levi to talk to him about what's going on in the city of Philadelphia. You want to introduce yourself and some of your work, bro?
Peace, brother. This is Brother Levi. We're here at the home of Black and Nobel Bookstore. I guess we call it the cornerstone of the mind here of Philadelphia, where you can come and get the greatest books and study, greatest DVDs, health products, and also a chance and a place to come and learn and share. Set up some of your own programs. So I'm a worker, a teacher here, and of course, brother of the community, period, who helps do a lot of development of children in particular.
So as the brother said, we're here in the city of Philadelphia. We want to talk to the brother about some of the conditions that are occurring. We've been traveling for our series, the Justice Peace Talks, and just kind of speaking to some of the local activists and scholars and teachers and healers to see what are the conditions and what are some of the solutions that you see to the life that we're living in right now.
Oh wow, thank you. And it's interesting you came right in on. If you want to get some of my films or any of the films that we have, you can look on our catalog in Black and Nobel. You can definitely check out Coach Batts and the whole crew here. One of the things that I'm finding, not just in Philadelphia, but when I talk to comrades, brothers and sisters, and people across the border, is the impoverished conditions we're living in. The lack of employment, police brutality, employment, police brutality, health. Okay, these are some of the major, and children's education across the board, particularly with our children, and with the incarceration rates. All of it's a program. All of it's programmed, and the ultimate solution to it is to go ahead and create independence. We start by creating independence in our economics. We start developing talent guilds. We start developing guilds of brothers and sisters who have a particular skill, bring them together and begin to create the products that we need within our community. That will start to give us a sense of ownership, a sense of power that can move about to the whole. From there, we also recognize the land. There's a lot of vacant land in our communities. Philadelphia has 40,000 vacant lots just open. And when we look at Philadelphia, Philadelphia was ranked as one of the most impoverished cities of America, next to Flint. So with that being said, being ranked as the number one, at one point the most impoverished city in the United States of America, utilization of urban agriculture and solar energy and science development on our part, not so much from someone on the outside, but on our part, start to create what we need for ourselves. This is the bottom line. We can go about asking for money. I work in nonprofit, so I know. We can ask for money and ask for money all day. But until we create what we need for ourselves, get back to that, we will suffer. 70 to 80%, 90% of the inventions of this country come from African hands.
Can you say that again?
About 80 to 90%, if not more, but 80 to 90% that I know of everything we use came originally from African minds, African hands. So there's no reason for our impoverishment. It's time to get back to the grind. It's time to pick up those tools again. The next revolution will be the Maker's Revolution. It's happening right now.
The Maker's Revolution.
The Maker's Revolution is the next revolution. It's going right back to people picking up them tools again and creating. Of course, with the 3D printer technology, but besides just the technology, people realize that they are being a constant consumer and never being a producer is a problem. And Black and Nobel promotes being a producer. And that's why this place is so amazing, is that it's about inspiring people to produce. So that's what we're here for. That's what I can see, and not just here. I mean, we hear about it in D.C., we hear about it in New York. All our brothers and sisters, we see it there. So it's across the board. I'm getting calls from L.A.
That's right.
I'm getting calls from Israel, Jerusalem sometimes, and working here. I've got calls from everywhere and talked to many people. So that's what I see as the solution overall, getting back to being producers.
Okay. And that leads us to another question that we have.
So what was too long with it?
No, it's perfect, brother. So one of the other issues that we see in our community is mass incarceration.
Yes.
As we know, they say a black child born today, a black boy, excuse me,
Right.
1 in 3 will end up within the prison system
Right.
throughout their lifetime. You were talking earlier about some of the talents and the skills that we have that we need to contribute to our community. So at Prosy, one of the things we look at is the same skills that have helped people be successful in the street. We want them to utilize them in their success and doing for themselves.
Right.
Can you say a little bit more about what you were saying?
Yeah, now that goes to the next thing, the mass incarceration. At this point, the mass incarceration is being sped up and engineered. At one point, it may have been out of necessity. Now it's out of belief. Of course, we got the lack of jobs.
That's right. We talked
That
about
exists. But it's not just the lack of jobs, it's the lack of real internal community nature-based education. That is an education that's going to teach you to create. What you don't have, make it. What has happened is that they've turned us into such consumers that we're running after, and of course the television, you know, commercial existence has promoting us to always want these products, and that these products is going to give us this type of feeling that this particular look, this lifestyle, this criminal lifestyle is going to give us some type of status.
That's right.
Because they made criminal lifestyle into something to cherish. So that's a play on the mind of our people. When we get back to our own self-perception and production, we'll have it. They've turned criminal behavior into something to idolize. We have to get back our children's mind from idolizing criminal existence. That's point blank.
That's it.
That's the only way to mass incarceration, and also teach them production. Get them tools back into our hands. We have our tools, not the tools just to kill each other, the tools to build
That's
each
right.
other.
To build that.
right,
That's
right. So, and that don't cost much.
That's right.
It don't cost much. It's better than sending a black boy, a black child, African male, female, or any child for that matter, particularly ours, into a prison system to sit there and manufacture and move machines around for 20 hours.
For 19 cents an hour.
Right. When they can come out here and get it for dollars, not just dollars, but they can get it and have fresh air, breathe, and develop their own. So why wait till we are incarcerated? Why wait to wake up and give us those skills and that education? Why don't we have that now? Because that's a part of the blueprint. A person who doesn't have a talent and doesn't have a sense of self is dangerous. And it's manufactured. Whenever you keep people's identity away from them and you try to block the light of the greatness that emanates from them. You always talk about how my teacher back in the day, Dr. Robinson, Journey of the Sung How People. He wrote in the Journey of Sung How People, and also in psychology, this is one of the things he talked about, peer association.
That's right.
And our children grow up with an association of identity always where black is always identified with something negative or something figurative from Hollywood.
True.
And that image has turned into an image that's self-destructive. Whereas if you look at the 60s and 70s, you started to see our identity was paired with a whole new construct. It was the new black man. The new black man has no fear.
That's right.
Even going back to the 20s. So they took the images and they snatched where we were starting to pair power to our image. Now they pair violence to our image. So we have to start there also. We got to start making new associations for our children when they're small. You know, and show them that there's power in being upright. You know, that's one of the problems we have. And even the self-perception of being born in America as black people, and not just this America, but all the Americas, North, South, all around, and even across the world. But particularly for us here, you're not separate from the rest of the African, Pan-African, global world perspective. Matter of fact, you're central to it. The richest people in the world are in America, richest black folks. And also the people who have dealt with some of the deepest psychic trauma in the world, who existed in one of the most racist places ever to be known in humanity.
True.
So the mass incarceration is stopped when black people begin to protect themselves and their babies. What's leading us to our incarceration?
Schools.
It's the schools definitely, but more than the schools, it's the entertainment industry.
Oh yeah.
The schools, their part in it is the low levels of
So
education.
you're saying it starts with the images.
It starts with the
Starts with
images.
Definitely.
Self-image is everything to a child. That's why every toy your child buys
Has to
is
reflect something positive.
it's an image. That's why Star Wars is so popular, or any of these things. It's the images that they're playing with.
Okay.
So we got to start young and getting them paired to powerful things that are fruitful. Because people have to eat. We can't blame our children for being involved in crime. It was a gateway out.
By design.
But after a while, the thing is that you're being branded. Because no one is talking about the fact that the Constitution of this country, that once you are imprisoned,
Prison
you are
again.
now put into a
Slave.
position of being a servant without payment. So that's slavery. And if you're teaching crime to a people, if you're trying to manufacture the idea of crime being good to a people, you're setting them back to go into slavery again. The bottom line, the brutality, or whether it's the brutality or the crime, the incarceration, both are going connected to lack of awareness of personal power. Once we grab back our economy and start teaching our children, half of the people that surround us will be unnecessary. And if you overstep that line, then we understand what's next. Was I clear on that? That was a statement, that was an undercurrent. Once we have our discipline and we're teaching and building like we're supposed to, there's no reason for certain forces to even be around us, and we need them not. That's where I'm going in my development as a person. You know, if you know me, it's just know me for something great. If not, it's nothing to talk about.
Here you have it, Brother Levi. We thank you for joining us. The
No
brother
problem.
talked about
Thank
mass incarceration, health outcomes, education, doing for self, being a maker, producer rather than a consumer. And these are the things, and protecting our community and positive
Yes.
images. These are the things that we need to improve the conditions of the black community. Is anything you want to say in closing? We appreciate your time.
Come on through to this bookstore. This is the place. This is the old Timbuktu of the West, you know, Black and Nobel. Come up here, like, cause books are paramount. You know, one of the first things they said to many of major prophets. Our family started writing. When they said to Prophet Muhammad, read, Iqra, look, see, open. So, reading is so important to us. Books were placed up there with food at one point on this planet. You know, so come and look at the records, come get your health products, you know, and support these brothers right here for what they're doing with the magazine and everything, all right?
Respect, brother.
And we hopefully I was submitting some articles, so
Oh,
check them out,
That's love.
Beautiful.
you know?
Definitely.
This is Coach Bass, CoachBass.com,
Anytime.
CoachBass.com, Prosy.org, Ground Zero Magazine.
Yes,
We
sir,
thank you.
Ground Zero.
We will continue to
Yeah.
travel the country, travel the world, and interview the people that are the freedom fighters of today and of tomorrow.
Peace.